got loads of advantages seen here. But what are some of the disadvantages of the cash budget? Okay, so these are what? These are estimates, aren't they? They're saying, so all the managers, if you're managers of different departments and you give your estimates, they're only estimates, aren't they?
Yeah.
They can be wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you guys can make mistakes.
Yeah.
So this is the point. And the other thing is manipulation. If you don't want to be seen as the person who's spent over, what might you do when you give your budget?
Over budget.
You might over budget. You might say, hang on, I need this amount.
Yeah.
In fact, you don't need that amount. So when it comes down to your spending, you don't spend that amount. So you look good because you've underspent.
That's right.
Yeah? Or people sometimes, to get the funding, they can do it the other way. They can say, underestimate what they want. If they underestimate what they want, they're probably thinking, oh, it's not going to be a problem in the future. I've underestimated it, but we've got to do it now because we've already started it. But how many times do you see that in government contracts? Oh, they say it's going to cost 500 million. And then later on it ends up to be 700 million.
So many times.
Yes, so many times you hear it in the news. The government's doing this, the government's doing this. And they say, it's going to cost this. And then 2 years down the line, they say, it costs this. Because they've underestimated it to make it look good, so to sell it to us. And then later on they say, well, it doesn't matter. Then now they can't do it because we've already started it. Underestimates. Yeah. So you can overestimate or underestimate. So, and you've got manipulation in terms of cash budgets. Okay, so just to sum up, the question said, explain the advantages and disadvantages of different types of planning tools used for budgetary control. So the first thing you do is to explain what is budgetary control. Then you need to then look at different types of planning tools. And I said I want you to do it two ways because there are different views in this. That's why I've asked you to do it two ways. One, explain what a budget is. Then talk about flexible budgets and fixed budgets. And then talk about the advantages and disadvantages of those fixed and flexible budgets. Then talk about break-even analysis. Then talk about advantages and disadvantages of the break-even analysis. Then talk about cash budgets. And then talk about advantages and disadvantages of the cash budget. Then talk about master budget. Then talk about disadvantages and advantages of that.
So
Done.
flexible analysis is to
In the beginning. We talked about that in the beginning.
yeah.
Okay? So, any other questions?
No.
Thank you, ladies and gents, from Mr. Tan.